Mike, I'm pretty fired up about our next guest. He's wearing a gold jacket, and what a timely situation and time to bring him on the podcast after what the Packers did on Sunday, after what we're seeing from that defense. Hall of Fame, former Green Bay Packers safety, LeRoy Butler joins us. You can follow him on Threads at Leap3636. LeRoy, how you doing, man? Thanks for taking the time today.
Every day of vacation. I'm dead serious. From where I came from growing up, every day is great. We were talking about this before we were recording, me, you, and Mike, about I'm from Florida and we got a hurricane coming through. So we just want to say to everybody, even the last hurricane, North Carolina, Atlanta, Florida, these places, we're praying for everybody to get what they need. And I think they will, because neighbors and Americans around, they all been helping out. So my family so far has been fantastic. So, because I know sports is a way for people to really, that's a therapist that you need, especially when your team wins.
And did I see you have a fundraiser coming up for homelessness?
Mike, that's why you're the smartest guy in the world. Yes, changing homelessness is something near and dear to my heart, is because I know people who paycheck to paycheck, if that paycheck don't come in, you could be homeless. Yeah. And sometimes I think people think it's the people that you drive down the road and you see people homeless, but it's not. It's other families who living in a car who are doing things like that. So I've been working with changing homelessness in Florida for about 2 years. Okay. And I sent a certified letter to all the top sports, NBA, NFL, hockey, baseball, WNBA, saying that I need their help, because sooner or later it's going to be illegal in the state of Florida if you're homeless. But what if you're a veteran, right, and you need help? You're going to put people in jail? So changing homelessness, try to get them jobs, housing, food, because I'm from the inner city, single parent. My mom raised 5 kids by herself, and she was my hero. But when you're growing up in extreme poverty, yes, people look at you differently. But that's why my documentary and my life story is going to be amazing, because I'm working on it now. But I appreciate you asking, because I just want people to just, in these hurricanes, people never say, well, where'd the homeless people go? Where, I mean, the shelters, I mean, it's just.
The hurricane could leave people homeless. It's going to take some homes off of the map, unfortunately.
Yes, and it happens. Some people in North Carolina their house is gone. Right. And where do you go? And even the federal government, more than happy to help you, and even the private sector will help you, and people volunteering help you. And this is a good way to end this segment of it. But my grandmother, Matt and Mike, told me this. Mm-hmm. A real hero does not fly. He can't outrun a locomotive. He can't pick up cars and throw it. He's not in the Marvel magazine or DC. A hero is helping somebody you don't know. Beautiful. So if you ever want to feel like a hero, if you're in line buying something and somebody behind you, just pay for their stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't know them. If you see somebody out and you want to help them, look at the smile on their face and look at the smile at yours. That's a hero. So anytime you volunteer, to me, my grandmother and my mother say, that's a real hero. So that's how I've always tried to do that.
LeRoy, you're doing heroic work with what you're doing to change homelessness. How can people find out more? How can people get involved?
Yeah, just go to changinghomelessness.org, and all of it's there. And even if you don't live in Florida, all 50 states, they all have these agencies who need help. Because I know the bigger ones are like Give to the Red Cross, which does amazing work. Salvation Army, my first new shirt where I popped the tag and it was mine, Salvation Army, because I didn't have a shirt to wear for school pictures.
Oh,
'Cause everybody wears something new in your school pictures. And I told my teacher, I said, I wear hand-me-downs. So when you see my picture, my brother's picture, who's a grade ahead of me, you're gonna see me with the same shirt.
Hmm.
And she was like, well, it's okay, it's okay. I said, yeah, but it'd be nice to have my own shirt. So the following year, went to Salvation Army. All the kids are running over trying to get the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Yeah, Matt, you're too young for that.
You know, I
I
know,
remember
I
G.I.
know.
Joe.
I said, I don't want a toy.
Hmm.
I want that new shirt, just a white t-shirt.
Hmm.
And it's in my book. And Matt, I'll send you a picture of it.
Love it.
Me and my shirt, and you can see the biggest smile. Just little stuff like that can help anybody's mental health or anxiety. So it's just if everybody could do something, it would be less for the less fortunate. Because I used to be one of these people that pray every day some stranger give money to a food pantry so I could eat it. And my grandkids were asking me, my grandson, he said, G-Pa, have you ever went trick-or-treating? I no. What? I said, no, I'm from the project, the inner city.
Yeah.
I've never had a costume to go get candy. No, I just went to grandma's house and grandma was giving us the candy.
Oh.
We didn't have a costume on.
Mhm.
And you should saw his face. It's like, wow. Because young kids don't really know where we grew up.
That's right.
But yes, but it's amazing though.
And we're going to include a link to changinghomelessness.org in the episode description, in the story from the podcast, and all those great things to do our small part to raise awareness for your great work that you're doing out there in the community. And obviously, it feels trivial given what people are dealing with in the South and the Southeast portion of this country right now. But, a lot of people can turn to football, turn to sports as that welcome distraction from things. And obviously, you have a gold jacket now. Congratulations on that, first and foremost. You're one of the greatest players to ever play the safety position in the league. The Packers seem to have a pretty good one in Xavier McKinney, who they signed as a free agent this offseason from the New York Giants. Talk to me about what you're seeing from Xavier. What is clicking for him? He's the first player since the AFL-NFL merger to have 5 interceptions in his first 5 games with a new team. He seems to fit the mold of the Jeff Hafley defense perfectly to a T, and he's playing the best football of his career. As someone who's played that position at the highest of levels, what are you seeing right now out of Xavier McKinney?
Well, first of all, I just want to do this, give this bottle
Oh.
Hall of Fame Leap Vodka to the Giants
Oh.
for, I could throw Saquon Barkley in there too, but we're going to just stay with X for a minute. Thank you for making him available. Thank you for not signing him to a long-term deal. Thank you for giving us a safety in his prime. But we're beyond ecstatic because X is different. He's a 24, 25-year-old, but he's a grown man inside a young man's body. He's a leader, and it's what we needed. We haven't had a safety like this since Nick Collins, really. I know me and Charles Woodson played safety at a high level, but this is different. He affects so much. And really, not a lot of people in Green Bay knew about him when Brian Gutekunst brought him in and made him the highest paid safety. Because it was the Mika Fitzpatricks of the world, the Buda Bakers, people like, these are the best safety. I said, wait, hold it. It's another guy that y'all missing, and we got it. So, and let's be honest, if it wasn't for him, the Packers are probably 1-4.
Wow.
I mean, last week, it was interception, fumble recovery. He probably could have had another one, but we play on defense for a reason. We're going to give him a pass. But what he's meant to this organization is somebody that's reliable.
Mhm.
But in terms of your question, Matt, here's where I put it. Darren Sharper that played with me, I'm just talking about purely in a Packer uniform, had the best range I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Can, in the middle of the field, sprint over and intercept it or cause a fumble. Darren Sharper was amazing. Eugene Robinson had the best instincts I've ever seen.
Hmm.
Formation, what they do from this formation, tendencies. Eugene Robinson, to me, is the smartest safety to ever play the game. X is both of those guys.
Wow.
He's
High
like,
praise.
Wolverine, you shoot him up, he come back to life.
Yeah.
That's how X is. They get a long pass and everybody's down. He can get a pick, everybody's up.
Wow.
Somebody will miss a tackle. He'll go over and make the tackle the next time, and it just lifts everybody. And somebody was saying he's the defensive MVP. I got offended.
Okay.
He's the MVP.
All right.
Because who's to say in 5 games
Mhm.
that he won't get one every game? They got to throw the ball.
17 interceptions, he's in that conversation. If he gets 17 picks and the
Yeah.
Packers make a Super Bowl run, yes, he's in that conversation.
I will pound the
I-
table for MVP. Yes.
I want people to say it on your show, Matt. We had this discussion. Because I don't know when the last time a defensive guy was even considered. I know one of my favorites, Reggie White. That's
Mhm.
my guy. So I love it, man. You gotta get me that picture.
You get me some vodka. Get me some
Yeah.
vodka. We can talk.
Man, I'd probably give you more than that to get that Reggie White.
Brokering deals on the show.
I know, right? Hey,
LeRoy,
man,
are you
we love everybody on this show.
absolutely? Are you surprised at all at how well this defense is playing? How quickly things have turned around under Jeff Hafley? Because there was a lot of talk down the stretch last year that was the weak point. That's what would keep them out of the playoffs. Now they wound up, of course, making a nice little run there and beating the Cowboys in the wild card round. But they're averaging just under 3 turnovers per game, holding opponents to just around 20 points per game. And Sunday, it was those 2 turnovers you mentioned by Xavier McKinney that turned things around. What's your big picture view of this defense, this scheme, and how good can they be if they keep up this level of play?
The bend don't break defense, to me, gets a negative overtone or
Right.
undertone.
Right.
Or on offense, conservative game managers is negative, but those are positives.
Hmm.
This defense, they're gonna give up a first down here, there, some yardage, but if they keep throwing the ball or keep running, odds are they're gonna get turnovers. And remember, Halfley, the people were like, they're the youngest team in the league. Okay, youngest team in the league. Matter of fact, the Rams are number 2 by a few months. You need a guy who's young enough, straight from college, to talk to really college players 1 or 2 years removed. Yeah, they got some grown men sprinkled in there, but it's just the messaging, effort, and be on time. We're gonna have a great defense. And that's what we go by. Points scored and takeaways. An interception is a takeaway. A tip is a giveaway. Hafley has just convinced everybody of their roles. Remember, they went from a 3-4 to a 4-3.
Right.
But some guys who normally stand up, we need you to put your hand in the ground.
Mhm.
And I know, I get it. When they played Philly, they weren't getting any just rush on Jalen Hurts. They wanted to kind of keep him in the pocket instead of running all over the place. Each week is going to be different. Because this week, Kyler Murray, he had a 50-yard touchdown.
Mhm.
So you got to get a guy like Adrian Cooper, number 56, you're the spy. And when he comes up, go get him. I just love that everybody have these the game plan. Everybody gets a game plan, but only a few guys get a supplement. That means it's something just for you.
Okay.
And that's why I like Adrian Cooper, Bullock, because we had some injuries in the secondary. We had to move Keon Nixon to corner. Bullock, a safety, a rookie, had to put him in the slot.
Mhm.
Everybody's prepared. And I'm just excited for what this defense could be because they're not even through half a season yet. Imagine how good they're going to be in November and December.
And now that you've seen Jordan Love win the game in comeback fashion, a week after a furious comeback came up just short, what's the next step in his development as a quarterback? Because you've obviously played against some great quarterbacks or close to the situation there in Green Bay. What are your thoughts on Jordan Love, where he is now, and what's the next step for him as he climbs the rankings as one of the best young quarterbacks in the league?
Here's why I love, no pun intended, why I love Jordan Love. He's the same guy. Go all the way back when they were 2-5,
Mhm.
3-6. Go look at all of his press conferences. Same guy. When he throws a bad interception last week, he's the first one to say, it's on me. You don't hear quarterbacks saying that. It's always somebody else's fault or the guy didn't protect. Joe Love said, no, that's on me. Even the long pass to Jaden Reed, shouldn't have thrown it.
Nice.
Got it good. Jaden Reed catches it. I should have thrown that pass. Sometimes, as quarterbacks, as we all do, we try to do it all ourselves. But the reason why we love the way he's trending, he's working with all young receivers. They can grow. And now Tucker Kraft at tight end is another weapon. And I like it when sometimes it's on him. He'll go up to the line, do a quick count. They don't jump. Do a quick count again. He'll set the protection, give him the play. One more hard count. They don't jump. We move. We get a big play like last year against Dallas. People say, how in the hell did y'all have Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love? And I'm just so tickled to death that we have a quarterback that we can grow. Now, the interceptions, because he had like 8, I think, last year, and got 5 already, or something like that. It don't bother him. It don't. Okay, let's make the corrections, and let's keep it. That's a shout out to his parents, his mom. Rest in peace to his dad, because every quarterback has to be measured and get an offense that he loves to work with. It's going to be some new things because some of the run plays with Josh Jacobs, they ran with Malik. They didn't run with Jordan for whatever reason. Now they're just trying to incorporate everything. So now, after the knee injury, after 2 weeks, you saw him run to pick up a first down. He'll be a little bit more mobile. They'll screen people. So I'm excited for the future for number 10.
That's what I was going to ask you. As a defensive player, when you look at that offense, so many different playmakers, so many different concepts. How hard is that to defend against?
Great question. Great question. I'm going to tell you, I tell people this all the time, but I mean it in a positive way. Anytime you move somebody against the defense, it's a chance somebody's wide the hell open. Defenses, because we always want to, we all ready to go. It's like the movie Up. Like the dogs are all together, squirrel, and they for the squirrel. It's like, no, stay focused. We're trying to catch the balloon in the house, but they keep thinking about chasing a squirrel. If you don't move, you're taking a chance of defense is getting after you.
Right.
But Matt moves more guys than anybody in the league. And I'm telling you, I played defense my whole life. It frustrated me when Steve Young would send Jerry Rice in motion, because now I got to go from strong to weak
Okay.
But guess who may not hear the call? The other side.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jerry Rice is wide open. Oh, we didn't get the call. We didn't hear you. So they move somebody. But if he stays where he is, I don't need to make a call. I just set the strength and we're going to dominate you. But if you move over and then come back,
Right.
somebody of the 10 people may not get the call. You don't need but one that didn't hear it. Touchdown or a big run. So, and I think that was something that Aaron Rodgers openly said. I don't like a lot of this motion stuff.
Right.
He was off base.
Because he wants to make that decision on his own at the line with the guys where they are.
Exactly.
Right. Which is what, like, and Brady liked that too, but Brady was Brady and Rodgers was Rodgers.
Yes.
For a younger guy, it's got to be different, right?
Yes, because Brock Purdy, to me, over the last 3 years, best quarterback in the league. From where he came from, Mr. Irrelevant to very relevant. He's going to be the highest paid quarterback. This guy, he didn't go in there and say, wait, Kyle, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. But no, Brock Purdy's documentary would be the most watched documentary in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
Because he came there, he's not 6'5", he's not like running a 4.3. All he was a guy that could listen. That offense, the one that the Rams run, who won a Super Bowl, San Francisco won, who've been in a couple Super Bowls, the Packers, who Matt won more games than anybody the first 3 or 4 years. You know, all that moving and stuff with Debo and Jalen Reed, it's confusing to defenses. And offenses that don't move, it's just taking away a weapon. The more movement, the better. Defenses hate it.
For sure. And obviously, I think I know your answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. The NFC North has suddenly become maybe the most competitive division in all of football. You have one of the few undefeated teams in the league in the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold in the middle of this renaissance. You have the Detroit Lions, who continue to build this reputation as a steamrolling wrecking ball on both sides. And you have the Packers with a defense that's getting better every week. And as you've talked about, all kinds of young weapons around one of the best young quarterbacks in football. Who's the best team in that division right now? Who's your favorite to win it and go on to the playoffs?
It's a great question. Man, this is one of the best podcasts I've ever been on. These are good questions.
We're going to cut that up into a promo.
You have to, especially when it comes from a Hall of Famer who's from the North.
Absolutely.
You have to say the Vikings because the Vikings beat San Francisco, playoff team. They beat the Texans, playoff team. They beat the Packers, playoff team. And on the road, Giants. And last week, they beat the Jets. I mean, with a couple of gifts from Aaron Rodgers, but win is win, right? When you're 5-0, you're going to be in the playoffs. So they're the class of the North now. And I would say the runner-up MVP right now behind Xavier is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's on his 4th team. He's on a 1-year deal. And he's outplayed everybody. You got to give people like that a respect. You really do. You respect your opponent. That's how you can beat them. Brian Flores should be a head coach, ASA yesterday. Everybody knows he's going to blitz. Everybody. It's no secret. He'll tell you. Brian Flores will send you his playbook. I don't care. You can't beat my system. And no one's been able to figure it out. Because the young man, he went to Wisconsin, his name escapes me. The pick 6.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Thank you. I can't say it or spell it, so thank you, man. They say always have a smart friend around you, so thank you. Aaron has seen that blitz a ton of times, more than you know. But the disguise of what I see and what I believe is brilliant. Because I'm telling you, in practice, they probably told Aaron, he's not going to be there. So you can get it there. Or, you should check to can't, go to the next play. Nope, I'm doing it, pick six and gone. So Flores, to me, he'll get a head coaching job. I mean, and I think, because I know there's some bad stuff that Tua said about him, and people want to win.
Right.
So if I'm an owner, he's my first call to some of these organizations. But real quick, after that, I think it's all together because the Chicago Bears playing pretty good with Williams. I mean, as long as they don't get his attempts up to 30 and 40 and put it all on him, throw it to DJ Moore. Swift is running the ball great, and they're all about defense and special teams. And the Packers always feel like you're going to be there because Jordan Love, is, to me, arguably the best quarterback in the division. And anytime Jared Goff, he went to a Super Bowl, okay? And that kind of experience, and they went and got Gibbs, a gadget running back, that nobody said, why are they drafting this guy? Him and Montgomery, a two-headed monster. It's the best. It used to be for years, we were told the East was the toughest division, because it was, because you had the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and Commanders, which I'm so glad Chicago did not draft Daniels. Oh, thank you, God. God is good. Because I saw him play LSU against Florida State.
Oh, gosh.
Sideline in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's the number one pick.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is amazing. Now, Caleb is amazing too.
Yeah.
But it's like, remember Bryce Young and CJ?
Yes.
They want to take the guy with all the gaudy numbers or the bigger, taller guy. Everybody's different. Caleb's going to be a great player, but Jalen Daniels is something special. So I think the North is the toughest one, but right now it's the Minnesota Vikings.
And that's where I was going to go. This is the last one from me. I'd love to get your perspective as a defensive player, one of the greatest safeties ever play the game, gold jacket player, Hall of Famer, all those things. When you watch Jaden Daniels, when you watch Caleb Williams, what about their skill set impresses you the most, especially a guy like Jaden Daniels, who he's legitimately playing himself into that MVP conversation with what he's doing in Washington right now?
Leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership. First with Caleb, I love that he's a mama's boy like me. So that means battle tested, very smart. He's like one of these prodigy kids that, like, you can give him stuff and he can put together the puzzle in like 3 seconds. And he wants he's a problem solver. He wants to fix everything. And just give me all the playbook now. And he learned it. And he has weapons, but his downfall could be in the clock in his head. I could do it all by myself. That'll calm down. Because we all think that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and playing on the West Coast and going to Chicago, one of the most storied franchises, who just had Justin Fields a couple of years ago, he can go there and be a hero. Because they have not beaten the Packers since I was in like 8th grade, it seems like. If he can just split and put them in the future in the conversation getting into the playoffs, he'll be a national treasure. But Daniels has got a new coach, and they went out and got him the perfect offensive coordinator to really just, what are you good at? I can run and I can throw, and I can run any offense you want. You want a pro style, I can do it. Ride in the side, RPOs, I can do anything you want. If you ever talk to him, you don't want to leave the room. These are the guys that work. Sometimes guys get a bad label on them in their interviews because they seem a little bit arrogant, like they know everything. And then when the coach get into teaching it to them, they're making faces. They're like, maybe we should do it like this. Coaches don't want to hear that. You got to be a good listener. That's why teachers are heroes to me. Without my teachers, there is no LeRoy Butler. I didn't go into my algebra class and I'm going to teach it. I went in there to learn. If you can teach me that I add 2 letters, it equals a number, and then its shapes of a ladder equals 0, and I can write a paragraph about it, you're brilliant. Okay? But these 2 guys will be on the fast track, as is CJ Stroud, who went straight to the playoffs. And Bryce Young, he'll get his turn. Because when he came in for Andy Dalton, he looked pretty good because it's starting to slow down. These are some of the best quarterbacks we've seen in a long time, and the future is bright for both of these young men.
Well, I only have one more question. Where can I get some Leap vodka?
Hey, man, go to leapspirits.com.
Oh, is that easy?
Leapspirits.com and show you where it is, where you can get it.
Beautiful.
And we'll take good care of you.
Excellent.
I think we're both going to jump on order some Leap vodka by the end of this.
Yes.
We appreciate the time, LeRoy, and the insight. This has been tremendous. And of course, if you're on Threads, give LeRoy a follow at Leap3636. LeRoy, appreciate the time. Look forward to talking further up the road, my friend. This was tremendous insight, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I got to say one more thing. I know y'all Eagles fans. Y'all did my friend Doug Peterson wrong, man. I don't appreciate that.
Doug's got to coach himself out of a hole.
There's a statue outside the stadium for him. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Okay. Well, they got to get AJ Brown back. He's on my fantasy team too, man. They got to fix that.
Just like you, he has a statue outside the stadium. So
that's all.
Memories all around.
Yeah. I got AJ Brown.
Okay.
DeAndre, the receiver.
Devonta Smith.
Smitty. Devonta Smith.
Yeah, he's on injury. And I got Dallas Goedert, and they on bye week. Hey, man, I need them guys back.
I think you're getting some good news this week. I think that
I need all 3 of those guys back. They're killing me. They're killing me. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the time, brother. Look forward to talking to further up the road.
Anytime.